what? Hey, there we go. Our feature debate this evening is animation versus reanimation. On the side of animation, this guy's also a member of the Fine Gentlemen's Club, another favorite here at the Vine Street Pub. Please put your hands together for Bobby Crane. And on the side of reanimation, please put your hands together for the reanimated brain of Walt Disney, everybody. The reanimated brain of Walt Disney. Oh, man. Going first on the side of reanimation, the reanimated brain of Walt Disney, everybody.
Greetings, world of tomorrow. You may be seated. It's good to be back, I suppose. I suppose some explanation is in order. My name is Walter Elias Disney, producer, Imagineer, Dreamstronaut, race car owner, American. In life, I did many great things. I created a park where it was all right for certain breeds of children to dream. Post-war America, I taught Americans it was all right once again to dream, but small at first. What if a dog had a hat? What if a mouse had a boat? What if a dog had its own dog? And it was I who single-handedly redefined the racial relationship between mouse and ducks. In 1965, I was diagnosed with an illness, a terminal illness. I would not live to see my empire sweep across the earth. I mean, make cartoons and stuff. The cause of my illness? To get the paint right for the color of Goofy's vest, you had to use highly radioactive materials. It was killing me. As a man of science, I instructed my top Imagineers to do the only logical course of action, to cut my head off and freeze it in time using a combination of cryogenics, pickle juice, and Jew magic. And there I slumbered to await a day when I would be reborn again in a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, possibly four-armed mechano-man body when I was needed. However, I don't know who bribed what or whom bribed whom, but two days ago I woke up in a park in Anaheim in this lumpy, bearded body, replete with its secret ass tattoos and insatiable hunger for haggis and 9 of the hairiest toes I've ever seen in my life. Of course, I immediately tried to return to Disney Studios to see what my work would have become of it. I walked in saying, "Uncle Walty's back, Uncle Walty's back." I was pepper sprayed and something called Miley Cyrus punched me in the face. I folded like Elia Kazan in front of the House Un-American Committee. I suspect this body has never taken a punch in its life. Ran away into the streets. See the world of tomorrow. My dreams, what did they rot? My God, you really cocked it up, didn't you? I gave you everything. I gave you all of the instructions. It was right there. There's a part of Disney World called the Land of Tomorrow. Monorails were supposed to be everywhere. I invented a self-cleaning kitchen flooded with methamphetamines so a woman could cook pot roasts around the clock to feed the troops. None of that has happened. My cartoons weren't for entertainment. They were instructional videos. Animals still can't talk. Furniture still doesn't do its own chores. Brooms are still trusted worldwide. And give you Snow White as a fun weekend away. I gave you Snow White so that you would understand that a woman can have 7 husbands as long as they're tiny enough. Found an address in my pocket, came here, do the debates. Turns out not only had animation killed me, it had killed the future I dreamed of for you.
Interesting angle, strange angle. I like it. Guys, tonight I will not be doing a silly voice, as much as I know all of you love it so much. Bobby Crane tonight, y'all, unless you want me to do this like an Asian dude, which I probably would do. I'm not doing that. Anyway, why did you give me that? It doesn't matter. Animation, y'all, that's what I'm here to talk about. Animation, it's sweeping the nation. Come on, you guys. Start off with a rhyme, have a good time. That's what I always say. I don't know about you guys, but one of my most fond and earliest memories is of going to my friend's house, popping in the Little Mermaid VHS or Betamax, depending on your family's religious beliefs. Watching Ariel and the other sea creatures learn about love and sacrifice, and then waiting until that one scene when the priest gets a boner, and then just laughing and laughing and laughing some more, and then rewinding it to see if it was funny the second time, which of course it was, and then laughing some more, and then laughing some more, and then going to grab your friend's little sister to show her, and of course she doesn't get why it's funny at all, and then we laugh even more and more, and we're rolling around, rewind it a few more times, have a few more laughs, call up your friend Randy on the old landline, you know what I'm talking about? Tell him about the priest boner. Wait for him to fast forward this tape in his house, which takes a while because that marriage scene was actually pretty late in the movie, you know what I'm saying? And then I listen to him laugh his tiny little dick off for a while, which makes us laugh even more and more. You guys see, animation fucking rules, okay? Who here laughed at the fucking priest boner, right? Do you guys not know about the priest boner? Who doesn't know about the priest boner? One girl in the back. Go out there, get yourself a VHS tape or a Betamax if your family's Jewish. Pop that thing in there. Go see the priest boner. It's hilarious. Animation takes us all back to our childhood, doesn't it? Who remembers Bambi here, huh? Who remembers Bambi? All right. Remember how your heart sank when they killed Bambi's mom at the beginning of the movie? Instead of saving it till the end like I wanted him to, you know what I'm saying? Doe, a deer, a female deer, bang! Roll credits. Give it the old Shyamalan twist. I don't know if that's a Shyamalan twist, but fucking Bambi. Disney's animated features, they're ingrained in all of us, you guys. Who remembers Lady and the Tramp? Who remembers Lady and the Tramp? You know, the movie that taught us that the best way to get your first kiss is to be a dog eating spaghetti, I guess, is what we learned. Funny thing about that is, you guys, I still pretend like I'm a dog slurping spaghetti when I'm kissing other stuff, too. Hey-o! That's how I eat spaghetti. Like I'm trying to summon a squirrel. And that's how I eat pussy, too. Okay. Or Fantasia. Who remembers Fantasia? Yeah, the movie that subtly informed us that Walt Disney was actually the first person to synthesize LSD. Thanks, Walt. Thanks, Walt. Who amongst us didn't relate to Snow White? Who didn't relate to Snow White? I know I did, you guys. Being banished from the kingdom for being too beautiful. That's my plight, you guys. That is my plight. I also have to clean up for my 7 friends all the time. Of course, their names are Sweaty, Stinky, Shorty, Donkey, Grumpy, Ding Dong, and Steve. You know who you are. Except for Steve. Steve doesn't know that his nickname is Steve yet. Or who remembers Pinocchio, the Jewish marionette doll? Because he's a big-nosed liar. That's the joke there. I can take it. That's the only thing I could think of for Pinocchio. What do you guys want from me? I did drugs yesterday. Or Robin Hood. Who remembers Robin Hood? The movie that told us that it's totally okay to steal as long as you're a fox and the king is a scoundrelly lion. That's what I learned. Nobody laughed at that. That's fine. Or Beauty and the Beast, which taught us that kidnapping is totally cool as long as you're trapped in the body of a horrifying beast. Nobody liked that one. Or Sleeping Beauty, which taught us that no may mean no, but silence is a definite yes. Is that it? Okay.
I've seen the state of modern animation. I've watched the programs. I've seen The Priest's Boner. I didn't find it humorous in the least. I know the way it's going. Sponges are having hamburgers with squirrels. I don't know what's going on in Japan and what they're doing to their octopuses and vice versa. We all have the octopus dream, we ignore it. We don't make cartoon pictures about it. It's part of the point. When I was doing animation, there were 3 rules. Number 1, Irish it down a little bit. Number 2, snitches get stitches. Number 3, mice are unkillable. And I added a 4th one, we all ignore the octopus dream. 3D animation, since when is 2Ds not enough Ds? Have to pay extra money for another D? Get off the trolley, I'm not gonna do it. I tried to watch one. I got thrown out of the building for vomiting. It's terrifying. 2 is enough Ds. When I first showed Steamboat Willie to people, they thought it was the realest thing in the world. People drowned. They drowned in the theater. I thought it was filling with water and mice. I did a Google on myself. You've made a monkey out of me. Well done. And it's been told that I'm an anti-Semite. I am not an anti-Semite. It's Donald Duck. It's the most Jewish character I've ever created. It's short for Duckburg. Can you imagine one of my characters more likely to send soup back in a deli than Donald Duck? No. I'll prove it. Is there a Jewish here? Is there a Jewish here? You can tell me, I won't turn you in. If he were here, I'd shake his hand and draw a reasonable portrait. The Disney Channel is still around. I invented the Disney Channel. It's a travesty these days. Jonas is crawling the walls. Disney Channel was created to inform young Americans about secret weapons caches in their neighborhoods should the communists come over the ice caps. Are there even any American sweatshops anymore? Is that all happening in Korea? How are American children supposed to afford Mickey Mouse brand tequila and cigarettes? It's not for them. They say animation will rot the brain. This is the crux of my argument. Say animation will rot the brain. Not so. It will alter it in ways you cannot imagine. We did tests. We did tests in a secret bunker under Pirates of the Caribbean. Right next to the tunnel that led to a mirror behind Jane Mansfield's bathroom mirror. We sat children down in there, let them watch all the cartoons that they wanted to. It turned them into unkillable animated monsters. We couldn't kill them. We dropped safes on them. We dropped pianos on them. We shot them in the face. It just spun their beaks around. None of them had beaks. We named it Animania. And it's happening to all of us. It's happening to this body, I can tell you. This guy watches tons of cartoons. I can tell. I'm constantly picking cereal out of the teeth. Never eaten cereal. Every time this body gets an erection, it sounds like a slide whistle. It's ridiculous. Bobby Crane's exhibiting signs of animania. Look at him. His giant head and personality. Starts in the head. Point is, I'm getting to, is that animation is dead. Reanimation, that's the way to go. It's the future. You can sit around and watch cartoons all day. That's not going to bring Gim Gam and Pep Pep back. You gotta get out there and do the science. Being reanimated isn't so bad. Every day I go to the graves of those who have wronged me and laugh and laugh. Sometimes you get reanimated into the body of a guy who's got an obscene amount of little Juan burritos. I can eat anything I want, which, as it turns out, is mostly stem cells. It's what I crave. I don't know why. And so I say, you and us, me and you and I and we. Here this evening, we take the secret of reanimation into our own hands. We can change the future. We can get it back. Reanimate the greatest leaders of all time. George Washington Carver, Abraham Lincoln, Norman Schwarzkopf, Jim Varney, and on and on and on. I won't go back into the darkness. You can't make me.
Walt Disney, everybody. He looked like that. Remember that? I'm just going to continue where I was because Kevin cut me off in the middle of my shit. So I'll just pretend like we're just continuing from where I was. So there's also Cinderella. There's also Cinderella, you guys. I couldn't think of a joke for Cinderella, you guys, but I did remember that I could do a really good impression of the overweight / possibly Down syndrome mouse Gus from that movie. You guys remember that? Do you guys remember Gus? Let me see if I can still get to this accent down. Gus. Happy birthday, Cinderella. I'm an abortion survivor. Okay. He's a mouse. It's okay. God, he's also a cartoon mouse. Guys, animation not only has the power to teach lessons and inspire, but it also has the power to arouse. Not necessarily in the Disney movies, well, except for Pocahontas, or as I like to call it, Strokahontas. Who's with me? We're having a good time. All right. Who here remembers Jessica Rabbit? Who here remembers getting a strange little boy boner after seeing Jessica Rabbit? Every single dude in here and a few of you lesbians. Not that the lesbians got boners, you guys. It's just, well, you know what I mean. Also, I probably shouldn't say you lesbians. That's a thing that I realized. All right. The point is, you guys, animated sex is hot. Reanimated sex is necrophilia. I would just like to point out really fast, you guys, that Jordan Dahl arguing against animation is incredibly hypocritical, considering his entire identity is basically an amalgamation of every cartoon character ever, right? Otherwise, why would you say Gadzooks so much? Reanimation, you guys, or to bring back to life, isn't worth arguing about because it's not a real thing, you guys. Bringing the dead back to life, that technology is like at least 2 years out. Seriously. We got a while. I thought that would get a better laugh. It doesn't matter. Sure, you guys can bring people back to life with like CPR, and CPR seems like a good idea, except for sometimes when a drowning just turns out to be an elaborate plan to get Wendy Peppercorn to make out with you. Jordan wants to argue for reanimation because all of his jokes are about ghosts and zombies and vampires. But I gotta tell you, Jordan, that is his name, we've all heard your supernatural humor stylings over and over and over. And at this point, I gotta tell you, Dracula is Hackula. Thank you. Thank you very much. Jordan, we've seen what happens when you bring back to life things that should be dead. We all remember Jurassic Park, you know, when scientists brought back the dinosaurs and that angry dinosaur spit prehistoric mouth jizz into Newman from Seinfeld's face. That's not good. You guys remember that one children's book, the Bible, when they brought that dude back to life 3 days after he died and all he did was save us from our sins? It's like, yo, Jeebus, next time bring some cannolis. All right. You know, the reason why I'm so against reanimation, mostly, you guys, is actually the fact that Linkin Park, or as I like to call them, Stinkin' Park. Their sophomore album was titled Reanimation, you guys. But the only thing that Linkin Park can reanimate is definitely not their career. God damn. Please not. I fucked that line up and it was my closing line. That's how I do it. But seriously, if Linkin Park tries to reanimate, do not resuscitate, I beg you. Thank you, that's my time. Animation, y'all.
Keep it going for Linkin Park enthusiast Bobby Crane, everybody. Is it just me or has there been a lot of talk about the Jews tonight? That was like, as 3 out of the 4 debates had at least one Nazi reference. This is like a Tea Party rally up in here all of a sudden. Really worked with the conservatives on the right. All right, you guys, time to pick a winner. If you're on the side of animation, let's hear it for Bobby Crane. Oof, that's pretty good. Pretty good. And if you're on the side of reanimation, let's hear it for the reanimated brain of Walt Disney, everybody. Ooh. By a hair, the reanimated brain of Walt Disney takes it. Give it up for both Bobby and whoever this dude is.